Call the meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call of supervisors, please. Okay. Laura, do you have the right? Supervisor Belsky, do you have the right one? There you go. The Supervisor Belsky, does Supervisor Grady have his? Because he's marked as being here and he's not here. So I'm thinking they were switched.
Okay. All right, so there are 19 supervisors present. Supervisor Grady, Gentz, and Morrissey are excused. Supervisor Nordigan is expected to be arriving
Momentarily,
yes.
Okay. Next, we have the seating of the oath of office for Supervisor District 5. Oh, I gotta turn this on. That's on.
We'll do it this way. How's that? So that. Everybody raise your right hand, please. And repeat after me. I, Julia Robinson. I, Julia Robinson. Having been duly elected to the office of County
Board Supervisor, District 5,
Having been duly elected to the office of County Board Supervisor, District 5,
but have not yet entered upon the duties thereof,
but have not yet entered upon the duties thereof,
swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and will faithfully discharge the duties of said office to the best of my ability.
and will faithfully discharge the duties of the said office to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Moving on to citizens' comments. Are there any citizens wishing to speak? Please state your name and address for the record.
Huff. I live at 7939 34th Avenue, and I'm glad to hear the support of the Constitution of the United States. It doesn't seem like there's enough of that going around lately. I'm speaking in a hope that in the budgetary process this year that you will not cut it lean, but they will leave a buffer of some funds for human services, because from what I can see locally, the funds are not adequate that we have now, and that the funds coming from the federal government are very erratic and iffy. As you know, the Shalom Center was able to build the Hope Hub, which was to be a warming and cooling center, which it did not function as last year. This year, remember those cold 0 days in January and February? The Hope Hub was able to be open for 3 nights during each of those 6-day periods of very cold weather. And the reason they were open is because the one paid employee that they can afford to have for the Hope Hub stayed almost 24 hours a day. She put in 99 hours in 1 week. And the Hope Hub needs to have some extra funding, whether it be contingency funding. You know, if we have cold weather, they'll get a little more. But we get a lot of service out of the Shalom Center for the small amount of money that the county board puts into it, and I really hope that we can support them. The other 3 nights of each of those cold spells were covered by my church, Emmanuel United Methodist, which is right across the block from here. And we won't be able to do that anymore. We checked our insurance policy. We do not have a license as a shelter. The city makes it very difficult to get a refuge license, and our insurance company won't pay for anything that we do that is not under the proper ordinances and such, and so we would not be paid if we had a claim on our insurance, so we won't do that anymore. So we need to support our Shalom Center. During that time when it was so cold, the KHDS put 40 people in motel rooms. There were more, but some people don't have ID. Some people are banned from the motel that KHDS uses, and that's some of the reason why we had almost 20 people at our church. And in January, we had a young couple with a 1-year-old daughter. They had been in the North Carolina floods from Helene, and so they needed help when their family actually kicked them out in the coldest day of the year, which wasn't very nice when they came up here. And then the second, in February, we had a mother, father, and 2 children, 12 and 8 years old, amongst the 20 people that we had. And the last night we were open, we had a 55-year-old woman with her adult son with learning disabilities on their very first day of homelessness. And so she had absolutely no idea where to go because everything was full, and had never been homeless before in her life. So we need these services. And then if you look at what's coming down from the federal government, just one example, the DOGE has cut the Washington staff of the agency that administers utility assistance. That means the funds are sitting in an account in Washington, but there's nobody to administer them and send them out to the state, send the funds out to the states, which means that our local UMOS will not be getting any money from the federal government, which means that local people will not be getting money. When you make $1,000 a month and your apartment costs $800 a month and your utility bill in the winter is $200, you kind of need some help. And so you'll get behind on your utility bill, your lights will be cut off, your landlord will say you can't have an apartment without utilities and will kick you out. And so this is going to be going on all over the country, and I don't know how many untold thousands, millions of people will become homeless. So that's just one little fun thing that's going to be happening. So please leave a little fat on the budget, even if it means we might have to pay $1 or $2 more in taxes. I personally would rather pay a little more in taxes than see people in suffering. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other citizens wishing to speak? Any other citizens wishing to speak? Hearing none, citizens' comments are closed. Announcements of the chair. I'd like to share with everyone that the Kenosha County Health Department received a successful renewal of its Level 3 Health Department designation from the Wisconsin Department of Health Services. This designation is a testament to the department's continued excellence in delivering public health services that promote and protect the well-being of Kenosha County residents. The Health Department designation program recognizes health departments that meet rigorous standards for quality, leadership, community engagement, and continuous improvement. The Level 3 is the highest designation available, reflecting the most comprehensive public health delivery. Kenosha County Public Health is among the top performing health departments in the state, and this renewal reaffirms the department's strong infrastructure, dedicated workforce, and deep commitment to health equity and community wellness. And that's something we can all be really proud of. So I wanted to share that with you. And then also, in a couple of weeks, we're going to have our budget vision session. So please mark your calendars for Tuesday, April 29th. It will take place at the Human Services Building. Food and fellowship will start at 5:30, and we will then start the meeting at 6 o'clock. So please make sure that you're able to attend that. It's important just to have the dialogue and share ideas for the 2026 budget. Thank you. And now for our youth and governance. Tonight we have Olivia Parrish with us, and also we have Melanie Jarsambowski with us. So thank you, ladies. Nice to see you here tonight. Supervisor reports. Supervisor Gearston.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I sent a report on behalf of the county board, on behalf of the Brookside Board of Trustees to the county board last week. It's an update regarding Brookside. What you'll see in that report is that in 2024, we closed the year with a $3 million plus surplus. Also, in the report that the trustees got at our last meeting, we see that through the first 2 months of 2025, we're again tracking toward a $3 million plus surplus. So we're doing very well. When I first got on the board in 2022, that wasn't the case. We had a surplus, a multi-million-dollar surplus at Brookside. So we've turned the corner through a lot of hard work. I think at this point, on behalf of the Brookside Board of Trustees, it would be appropriate for me to say thank you to the county executive and her administrative team for their vision and strategy in implementing the success story for Brookside. It also would be appropriate on behalf of the trustees to say thank you to the leadership team at Brookside. I think I know them all, and they really had a lot of sleepless nights trying to figure out how to work through this, and did such a great job. So I want to say thank you to the Brookside leadership team. And finally, on behalf of the trustees, I want to say thank you to all of the men and women that work at Brookside. We couldn't have done this without them. And also thank you for the wonderful care they give to our residents. So with that, Madam Chair, I yield.
Thank you, Supervisor Gearston. Any other supervisor reports? Seeing none, supervisor reports are closed.
New business, Resolution 94 from the Human Services Committee, a resolution to approve the appointment of Sarah Caldum to serve on the Kenosha County Board of Health. This passed unanimously at committee. Supervisor Brown was excused.
Supervisor Franco.
I move Resolution 94.
Moved by Supervisor Franco, second by Supervisor Kirby. Supervisor Franco.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This resolution asks the board to approve the appointment of Sarah Caldum to serve on the Kenosha County Board of Health. Ms. Caldum is a nurse practitioner and would be an excellent addition to the Board of Health. The Human Services Committee voted to recommend her appointment, and I request the board's approval.
Any discussion on Resolution 94? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution 94 passes unanimously.
Resolution 95 from the Human Services Committee, a resolution to approve the appointment of Pamela Condos to serve as Director of the Division of Children and Family Services. This passed unanimously at committee. Supervisor Brown was excused.
Supervisor Franco.
I move Resolution 95.
Moved by Supervisor Franco, second by Supervisor Robinson. Supervisor Franco.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This resolution asks the board to approve the appointment of Pamela Condos as Director of the Division of Child and Family Services. Ms. Condos has worked for the county since 2012 in various positions, including as the DCFS Division Manager. Ms. Condos will be replacing Ron Rogers, who retired on March 31st and is eminently qualified for this position. The Human Services Committee voted in favor of her appointment, and I request the board's approval.
Thank you, Supervisor Franco. Any discussion on Resolution 95? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution 95 passes unanimously.
Resolution 96 from the Human Services Committee, a resolution to approve the appointment of James Hall to serve on the Human Services Board. This passed unanimously at committee. Supervisor Brown was excused.
Supervisor Franco.
I move Resolution 96.
Moved by Supervisor Franco, second by Supervisor Nez. Supervisor Franco.
This resolution asks the board to approve the appointment of James Hall to serve on the Kenosha County Human Services Board. Mr. Hall is the president of the Kenosha Racine chapter of the Urban League and has been involved in many local organizations as well. The Human Services Committee voted in support of his recommendation and requests the board's approval.
Thank you, Supervisor Franco. Any discussion on Resolution 96? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution 96 passes unanimously.
Resolution 97 from the Judiciary and Law Enforcement Committee, a resolution to approve the appointment of Shane Hollerich to serve on the Kenosha County Local Emergency Planning Committee. This passed unanimously at committee. Supervisor Belsky was excused.
Supervisor Franco.
I move Resolution 97.
Moved by Supervisor Franco, seconded by Supervisor Garcia. Supervisor Franco.
This resolution asks the board to approve the appointment of Shane Hollerich to serve on the Kenosha County Local Emergency Planning Committee. Mr. Hollerich works as a highway project manager and has served on several local boards. The Judiciary and Law Committee voted to approve his appointment, and we ask for the board's support.
Thank you, Supervisor Franco. Any discussion on Resolution 97? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution 97 passes unanimously.
Resolution 98 from the Judiciary and Law Enforcement Committee, a resolution to approve the regular cabaret license for VRWM Holdings doing business as Wilmot Mountain, 11931 Fox River Road in the town of Randall. This passed unanimously at committee. Supervisor Belsky was excused.
Supervisor Franco.
I move Resolution 98.
Moved by Supervisor Franco, seconded by Supervisor Gray. Supervisor Franco.
This resolution asks the board to approve a regular cabaret license for VRWM Holdings LLC DBA Wilmot Mountain. Their probationary license was approved last October, during which there had been no tavern-related enforcement calls or other violations. The Judiciary and Law Committee voted to approve the license, and we request the board's approval.
Thank you, Supervisor Franco. Any discussion on Resolution 98? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Resolution 98 passes unanimously.
Resolution 99 from the Judiciary and Law Enforcement and Finance and Administration Committees, a resolution to approve the 2025 Wisconsin Victim Witness Programs WVWP grant. This passed unanimously at both committees. Supervisor Belsky was excused from Judiciary and Law Enforcement Committee, and Supervisor Nudo was excused from the Finance Administration Committee.
Supervisor Franco.
I move Resolution 99.
Moved by Supervisor Franco, seconded by Supervisor Kirby. Supervisor Franco.
This resolution asks the board to accept the 2025 Wisconsin Victim Witness Program grant. The $1,000 grant will be used to purchase updated furniture for the victim witness waiting room. The Judiciary and Law Committee voted to approve the grant, and we ask for the board to approve it as well.
Thank you, Supervisor Franco. Any discussion on Resolution 99? Seeing none, this does require a two-thirds vote, so please indicate on your clicker.
Resolution passes unanimously with 19 votes. Resolution 100 from the Public Works and Facilities and Finance and Administration Committees, a resolution to approve an agreement between Kenosha County and Kenosha County Snowmobile Club Alliance for trail grant distribution. This passed unanimously at both committees. Supervisor Belsky was excused from Public Works and Facilities, and Supervisor Nudo was excused from Finance and Administration Committee.
Supervisor Franco.
I move Resolution 100.
That'll be the last time tonight.
I hope so.
Seconded by Supervisor Kirby. Supervisor Franco.
This resolution asks the board to approve the Department of Public Works Division to submit an application to the State of Wisconsin DNR on behalf of the Kenosha County Snowmobile Alliance. It will give the authority for the county to take the necessary steps to facilitate the project. The Public Works and Finance Committee both voted to approve the resolution. I request the board's approval.
Thank you, Supervisor Franco. Any discussion on Resolution 100? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution 100 passes unanimously.
Resolution 101 from the Finance and Administration Committee, a resolution to approve 2024 to 2025 carryover and annual closeout. This passed unanimously at committee. Supervisor Nudo was excused.
Supervisor Kirby.
I move to approve Resolution 101.
Moved by Supervisor Kirby, seconded by Supervisor Gama. Supervisor Kirby.
This is the carryover closeout resolution that comes before the board each year. We carry over funds for a variety of reasons, projects that were budgeted but were not able to be completed by the end of the year, repurposing funds to other projects, and repurposing funds for unexpected expenses. The detail of the items requiring board approval can be found on page 10, and they total $348,708. We are requesting approval for accounting of Brookside and county reserves and a few mid-year personnel budget changes. This passed unanimously at committee, and we ask for your support.
Thank you, Supervisor Kirby. Discussion on this item. Supervisor Nudo.
Thank you, Madam Chair. First of all, I wasn't able to attend the meeting last week, but I called Finance, and I want to say thanks to the Finance Department for discussing this resolution with me today. And the only thing I would like at this point to make an amendment, which is on page 2, which is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, the 8, whereas the county suspended its budgeted allocation to the Brookside Cost Center for fiscal year 2022-2024 due to the center's overall fiscal deficit, and add on that due to the global 19 pandemic. That's my amendment, just to add that to the...
All right, Supervisor Nudo made an amendment. Is there a second to his amendment?
I'll second it.
Second by Supervisor Belsky. Discussion on Supervisor Nudo's amendment.
Well, the only reason I'm putting that is just to make sure, because all of us now, we know what happened, but maybe in the future, somebody looking at this, they might interpret it like it was the administration or the people at Brookside that did some, to have a negative impact. So this just would clarify that it was due for something behind our control.
Okay, and Supervisor Nudo, would you state again your amendment?
Just to add, due to the global 19 pandemic.
Due to the global 2019,
COVID-19.
COVID-19.
To COVID-19, I'm sorry. Man, I need new glasses.
Okay, thank you for that. Supervisor Stocker?
On this.
Not on that? Here, it's on this. Whereas, right here, yeah. Deficits due to. Supervisor Decker?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I will be voting against this amendment because the issues that Brookside had with fiscal management were not just due to COVID-19. I know we had problems with staffing, and because we had such problems with staffing, we couldn't open up wings because we didn't have enough staff to open up wings, and that had nothing to do with the COVID-19 pandemic. It had to do with our pay scales and other issues too at the same time. So it wasn't just because of COVID-19 that Brookside has had fiscal issues. So I will be voting against it.
Thank you, Supervisor Decker. Any other discussion on Supervisor Nudo's amendment? Seeing none? Okay, there will be a roll call on Supervisor Nudo's amendment.
5, 6, 7. So it fails. The amendment fails. 12 no and 7 yes.
Okay, Supervisor Stocker?
I have a few questions about the resolution. On page 3, right at the top, in line 1, it has the Health and Services Department has identified a need to restructure the management team. I was wondering what the specific reasons were for that restructure.
Is who from the staff would like to answer Supervisor Stocker's question regarding that? Thank you, Rebecca.
So I think the reason for the restructure is looking at the changes that the health department has experienced over the last couple of years, and the need for adding some layers of management so that we can allow the health officer to focus on some of the greater concerns that are going on in our community, and letting a deputy director, if it passes, deal with a lot of the day-to-day staffing concerns and the day-to-day running of the department. As we know, when the pandemic hit, there were lots of different opinions and lots of different things that happened, and lots of different ways things could have gone. And so I think having some additional time for the director to be able to focus on the right path is a great way for us to move forward.
A follow-up question. It says that it's levy neutral for 2025.
Correct.
But it won't be levy neutral after that, correct?
It depends. The deputy director position is a reclassification, so it's going from a manager to the deputy director, and the person that currently has that management position has the high end of the pay scale, so it's a potential that there would be some cost savings if the new person coming on takes less salary or doesn't have the benefit package. It could be a little bit more if they bring in a little bit more salary or they need a full benefit package.
So with the shortage of personnel that we have, the likelihood of getting a lesser salary, I find that hard to swallow, but I just see that this will be a levy issue the following years. One more question. You're doing a reclassification of the public health supervisor. Is any part of that position supported by grants?
Yes, it will be half-time, so the new position, which is the grant development and communication, will be half supported by our HUD grant, which is a 5-year lead abatement grant that we just renewed, and it started in April, so for the next 5 years.
I'm talking about the position that you're eliminating. Was that funded by grants?
Yes, the HUD grant.
Okay. Is that going to make those grants invalid? Are they going to affect them in any way?
No, they won't affect them.
Okay. So then there's 2 new job descriptions. What was the process for getting those done? Because I don't remember them coming before the board at all. Is that not the process that happens with that?
To my knowledge, that's not the process, but I can tell you that what we did was we looked at pretty much every health department across the state of Wisconsin and some other health departments that were in outside states to look at what they were doing with their structures. Pretty much every health department we looked at has a deputy director, especially those surrounding us. And then as far as the outreach grant person, certainly with the changing times and the need to provide, appropriate communication as well as to secure more grants so that we can serve more people, it certainly felt like it served the needs of what we're seeing from our community.
Okay, I just want to make sure we're not hurting ourselves in the grants that we've already been granted and then undoing that.
No.
The other thing is, in the job descriptions, there were a couple references to equity and inequity, and that seems to be a hot term. And I'd be concerned about that we are pursuing people not based on getting the best, And I want to be careful that we are getting I think, I don't care what color, what ethnic value, or whatever it is. I don't care about what the person is. I care that they're the best. And that's what I would like to see in these positions. So,
Absolutely.
okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Supervisor Stocker. Any further questions on Resolution 101? Seeing none, this does require a 2/3 vote.
Resolution passes 18-1. Supervisor Stocker voting no. Resolution 102 from the Finance Administration Committee, a resolution authorizing defederalization of the U.S. EDA revolving loan fund, and that CABA continues operating the RLF. This passed unanimously at committee. Supervisor Nudo was excused.
Supervisor Kirby.
I move to approve Resolution 102.
Moved by Supervisor Kirby, seconded by Vice Chair Gashke. Supervisor Kirby.
Thank you. This resolution is something that's been worked on for several years now. The county received 2 loans, one back in 1987 and another in 1990 for use in the revolving loan fund. CABA has been administering this since 1994. This resolution authorizes CABA to request to defederalize the funds. This would ease the administration and the reporting for both CABA and the borrower. There is a memo from CABA on your desk with more details. This passed unanimously at committee, and we ask for your support.
Thank you, Supervisor Kirby. Any discussion on Resolution 102? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Resolution 102 passes unanimously.
Resolution 103 from the Planning, Development, and Extension Education Committee, a resolution regarding Daniel Lee Lawrence Jr. and Virginia Lee Lawrence request an amendment to the adopted land use plan map for Kenosha County 2035, map 54 of the comprehensive plan, from suburban density residential and PEC to general agricultural and open land and PEC in the town of Wheatland. This passed unanimously at committee.
Supervisor Brown.
Move to approve Resolution 103.
Moved by Supervisor Brown, second by Supervisor Brookhouse. Supervisor Brown.
As the clerk mentioned, this amends the adopted land use plan from suburban density residential to general agriculture and open land. The town of Wheatland approved it, as did PDEC, and I request the board's approval.
Thank you, Supervisor Brown. Any discussion on Resolution 103? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Resolution 103 passes unanimously.
Ordinance 22 from the Planning, Development, and Extension Education Committee, an ordinance regarding Daniel Lee Lawrence Jr. and Virginia Lee Lawrence, owner, requesting a rezoning from A1 Agricultural Preservation District, A2 General Agricultural District, C2 Upland Resource Conservancy District, and C1 Lowland Resource Conservancy District to A2 General Agricultural District, C2 Upland Resource Conservancy District, and C1 Lowland Resource Conservancy District in the town of Wheatland. This passed unanimously at committee.
Supervisor Brown.
Move to approve Ordinance 22.
Moved by Supervisor Brown, seconded by Supervisor Decker. Supervisor Brown.
As the clerk mentioned, this is a request to rezone, eliminating the A1 Agricultural Preservation District. The town of Wheatland approved, as did PDEC, and I request the board's approval.
Thank you, Supervisor Brown. Any discussion on Ordinance 22? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Ordinance 22 passes unanimously.
Ordinance 23 from the Planning, Development, and Extension Education Committee, an ordinance regarding Daniel Lee Lawrence Jr. and Virginia Lee Lawrence, requests an amendment to the adopted land use plan map for Kenosha County 2035, map 54 of the comprehensive plan, from suburban density residential and PEC to general agricultural and open land and PEC in the town of Wheatland. This passed unanimously at committee.
Supervisor Brown.
Move to approve ordinance 23.
Moved by Supervisor Brown, seconded by Supervisor Gearston. Supervisor Brown.
As the clerk mentioned, it amends the adopted land use plan from suburban density residential to general agriculture and open land. The town of Wheatland approved, as did PDEC, and we ask for the board's approval.
Thank you, Supervisor Brown. Any discussion on ordinance 23? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Ordinance 23 passes unanimously.
Communications, 85, a communication from the Public Works and Facilities Committee, a resolution to approve designating May 18th through the 24th of 2025 as National Public Works Week in Kenosha County.
Refer to Public Works Facilities Committee.
Communications 86, a communication from Andy M. Bueller regarding future items scheduled before the Planning, Development, and Extension Education Committee.
Receive and file.
Claims 34, Dawn Lucy Binniger, property damage.
Refer to Corporation Counsel.
35, Megan Santoro, personal injury.
Refer to Corporation Counsel.
36, Aaron Puhick, personal injury.
Refer to Corporation Counsel.
The approval of the April 2nd, 2025 minutes by Supervisor Geertsen.
Supervisor Gearston.
Madam Chair, I move approval of the April 2nd, 2025 County Board meeting minutes.
Moved by Supervisor Gearston, second by Supervisor Decker to approve the minutes. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes unanimously.
Second.
Motion to adjourn by Supervisor Decker, second by Supervisor Gearston. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? We are adjourned.